Why I left the New Age cult and became a yoga teacher. Sit back for this one. It's going to be a little story time. I'm going to give you guys the full details about the New Age and why you should really be practicing yoga instead. Now, as some of you might know, I'm a certified Raja yoga teacher. I got certified in 2011. We have to go way back, even before that, to the beginning of my spiritual journey to understand how I got into all of this in the first place. I had a major spiritual awakening about 15 years ago, and to be honest, I just didn't know what to do. I had a major shift in consciousness. The friends that were I was hanging out with at the time, my family members, a lot of the things that were happening were not what they were used to, and I didn't have anybody to talk to about this. This was way before a lot of the famous YouTubers were around, and the influencers and social media world, none of that was around back then, and I was living under the means of just the standard America, going to school. It wasn't until I got to college and I was taking a yoga class and things started happening within me. Something was waking up inside me that I never knew existed. I took a yoga and meditation class back to back over 4 semesters in a row. I actually went back for the 5th semester and just went to the class without even being signed up because my spiritual teacher, she was such an incredible person, and she would just let me come to her classes without even being signed up through the school system. And I would just practice yoga and meditate, and eventually became a certified Raja yoga instructor in 2011. And I am so thankful for this journey. It's called samsara, the cycle of birth and death. That is what's happening right now. We were all realizing our true self. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I got lost in the New Age. Straight up. Like, it was a complete accident. It didn't happen on purpose. Again, I went through a major spiritual awakening and I didn't know what to do. I needed something to navigate what I was going through and what I was experiencing in my life as someone in high school going through a spiritual awakening. And I started reading books, started getting into certain things. I read Autobiography of a Yogi, and that book completely changed my life. That is when it all changed for me. I'm being 100% honest and sincere right now. I went from this New Age, getting into chakras and mysticism and aliens and celestial beings and all this fun stuff, and then it completely shifted into something tangible, something real, something that really motivated me to meditate and get my experience from within rather than looking from without myself for happiness. So, Autobiography of a Yogi completely changed my life. That book was something that resonated with me, and believe it or not, my teacher lived at Ananda for over 40 years, and I'm actually tied to that lineage of Autobiography of a Yogi. There is a lineage tied to Kriya Yoga or Raja Yoga, and I feel so just amazing. I feel so special to be a part of that lineage and to help promote the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda and just promote the true teachings, right? The wisdom of the ancient yogis. I mean, this is a science. This is something that is over 5,000 years old. You have to ask yourself, are you caught up in something that is somebody else's opinion, or are you realizing your true self from a realized being? Autobiography of a Yogi is pure truth. It is pure knowledge. Those aren't just some made-up fantasies or stories written in that book, right? A lot of what you see, especially right here on YouTube, I'm not going to call anybody out or name any names. I'm just telling you there's a lot of New Age people and a lot of spiritual teachers out there that are just leading you into more sense gratification and more ego consciousness. They're not leading you into your true self, which is right here, the Atman, the soul within the soul. We are here to realize and experience what that means. Now, no judgment here. If you're in the New Age, if you're into it, it's all good. I just wanted to let you know that 99% of those teachings come from yoga. It's just that simple. You have to ask yourself, how long have we been on this planet? How long have we been in this, samsara, right? The cycle of birth and death. And it's billions of years. If you understand the yuga system, if you understand the true evolution, then we've been in this for a very long time. Now, the New Age cult is very much just that. It's a cult. What do? Right? They lead people to control them, just like any other cult or any other brainwashing technique from the government or so forth. Now, I want all of you to know that it's not all brainwashing. It's not all some cult. It's just there's a lot of techniques and a lot of teachings on there that are coming from yoga, and unfortunately, they are not giving the credit to the masters and the gurus from the ancient days. It's just that simple. They're stamping their approval on it, stamping their name on it, selling some ebook or whatever. And unfortunately, that's just the world, social media world we live in. I want all of you to know that everything from the New Age is rooted in some sort of teaching that comes way before it. In my opinion, I would call that yoga. I mean, think about the chakra system, right? The third eye. Probably the most common thing in the New Age is talking about the third eye. And this is the Anya chakra, right here, the point in between the eyebrows. I mean, if you just go straight to the teachings of yoga and cut out the middleman, then you're going to be a lot better off. So I want all of you to know that I made this mistake myself. I have been, very beginning for about 2 years on my spiritual journey. I was in the New Age. I was completely overwhelmed by what was happening in my life, and I was just looking for answers. I'm just being honest with you. Now, moving forward, again, it wasn't until I read Autobiography of a Yogi, and that completely solidified my path. Things were coming online inside my body. The light bulbs were going off, and I'm like, wow, this is it. This is really the magic that I was looking for. This is really the wisdom that I needed to navigate my true spiritual life, and guiding me within, giving the energy and the motivation to meditate every day instead of seek attention and seek the information from outside of myself. So just ask yourself that question. Are you motivated to meditate? Are you excited to, raise the consciousness of the planet in a very positive way? Or are you doing this to gratify the senses? Are you bringing more energy to the ego or the lower self? Are you unhappy? Are you miserable? If you're not getting the fruits of your labor from these teachings and techniques, then what's the point of it? Okay, so really put this into a practice here. This isn't about idolizing some people or getting into the social media influencer world and blah, blah, blah. Those words really, trigger me on a level, and I feel the calling to make this channel as a whole to help debunk a lot of this stuff, because I see so many people getting caught in the New Age. I see comments on my videos like, oh, he's a cult leader and this and that. I'm like, I am not a part of the New Age at all. I made that decision a long time ago, and I am so happy to be a part of yoga and meditation. These teachings changed my life, and I just honestly want to share them with as many people as I possibly can. So thank you all for being a part of this journey with me. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the Inner Circle members. Shout out to everybody on the Patreon page. This is an amazing journey. It's an exciting time to be alive. Until next time, guys, infinite love, infinite peace. I'm out.
Remember, you are infinite spirit soul. The higher self is always guiding you. Tap into the infinite cosmic conscious energy which is within us, around us, and everywhere.